Hey everybody, it's Daddy142014PG, and today we're taking a look at Virtual Tennis for the PS Vita. Quite an interesting game, and at first, honestly, I passed it up, and I'm quite glad that I decided to jump back over to it. A lot of people have been requesting this from me. I had a little bit of downtime. I'm waiting on Gravity Rush to come in the mail so I can actually receive it and play it through and do the full review like promised. In the meantime, here's this game for you guys. Remember to like, one thumb, let's go 2 thumbs up. Leave some comments down below in the sections for me, and subscribe if you haven't already. I want to take a moment to say thank you to all my subscribers. You guys have made this possible. Every day the growth has been absolutely phenomenal. I will make sure to do a contest for you guys. I'm still working on the details on what exactly I'm going to give away and how I'm going to proceed with the contest. In the meantime, though, let's get to the Virtual Tennis, and let's talk about the different modes here. So let's just quickly talk about them and overlap them and whatnot. So you have World Tour, Arcade, Exhibition, Practice, Minigames, VT apps, Network, which is your online play, My Club, where you can check the progress of the character, and your options. This does utilize touch. You can see that I can quickly do it like this, or you can use the D-pad, and that same thing goes for actual gameplay. So first thing we'll talk about here is the World Tour. What you do is essentially create your player. I'm not going to actually show this mode. There's too much to cover, and I have so many other things that I want to cover in this video because this game is quite unique. So you'll create your character. You'll essentially spend a season, 60 days or so I believe it is, and you'll move your character and progress him, build him up, do different mini games to help his skills evolve, unlock kits and different costumes or attire and whatnot that you can customize to your character, and different skill sets and whatnot. And as you play the game, you'll actually have a power bar that will fill up, and you'll be able to perform special shots. But we won't get into that because there's other things that I find and I believe are more important. So moving on to the Arcade and Exhibition, pretty straightforward in practice. But the VT apps is actually what's quite unique about this, and it really does something that I haven't seen any other Vita game do. I'm not saying that it hasn't been done with the Vita. If it has, I'm just simply not aware of it. There are the VT apps. When I go inside it, the first thing you get is the VR match. So you essentially, it's almost like an FPT, we're going to call it, a first-person tennis game. So not an FPS, yes, an FPT. It's just unique again, and it gives you a different perspective on tennis matches. The second thing is touch versus, and I'm actually going to show that in a second. The VT cam, where essentially we'll put the created character or that character into the augmented reality, and you can just take pictures. And then again, rock the boat. It's not included in the mini games. The boat will basically go by and you'll try and break the different targets. So let's go ahead and show the touch versus like promised. This is what I believe is quite unique. So let's just pick characters, Sharapova and Roddick. What you would do is essentially you would have a friend with you. You would flip the system to be landscape like this. I would hold this side, they would hold that side, and you'd have a match between the two of you. And it's something so simple, but not a lot of games take solace in it and actually try and implement it. And I find it unique, and I had to give kudos to it. And I was almost floored by it. You can see the visuals here. Character models are absolutely phenomenal. Even the gameplay models, it's quite vibrant. The texture mapping is nice. It doesn't look like flat surfaces so much. It actually almost kind of looks 3D/2D-ish. It's kind of unique in that way. Just so to show you again, you would hold it like this. I'm going to try and play it one person just to give you the idea. You attach like this, and then again they would swing, and I would swing back and forth and back and forth. And it's just, again, it's a unique thing. It's just a little attention to detail that I've talked about so many times before in games that I was really grateful to see. As for, I know there was a PS3 version of this game. I haven't had the chance or opportunity to actually play it, so I cannot comment to whether or not this is a direct port or if the same modes are in the PS3 version, so I do apologize for that. But again, I'm only going with what I've played, and I can only talk about my experience with it there. So I'm going to jump out of this mode because you've had the opportunity to see what it's like. And I'm going to jump into a different mode. I want to actually talk to you guys about the mini games because that's another thing that I found. It's kind of a positive and a negative that this game does. All the mini games are included in the World Tour. And they help your character progress. So I felt that at first when I saw the mini games, I'm like, wow, this is a lot of added content. But when I actually went in and played the World Tour and noticed that it was included into that, I thought, well, this is not actually added content, because added content to me would be something that's not included in the World Tour, something that's extra that you get outside of it. And this wasn't one of those things. So you get a lot of different mini games here, and I'll just give you an idea of how many. You get clay shooting, ace striker, win match, royal poker, egg collector, where you run around, hatching chickens and bringing them to their mother. Silly little things like that. Bomb match, wall match, coin match, and Pin Crusher. By the way, if there's anything you guys see in the video that you want me to elaborate on for you guys, make sure to leave it in a comment or shoot me off a message, and I'll try to cover it in my next video that I can do for you guys. But what I want to demo here for you guys is the bomb match. And again, this is something unique about this game, or the PS Vita version that I really enjoyed, is that it doesn't quite take itself seriously, yet on the other hand, it doesn't take itself as a joke. I kind of find it a cross between the original Virtual Tennis, where they're more straight to the point kind of tennis, and Mario Tennis, for example. Because, I'll give you an example of the Mario Tennis aspect that I'm talking about here. Is things like this. So you get a bomb in your hand, you get 20 seconds, you got to basically throw it up, you hit these markers here, and they'll deduct X amount of time, whatever one you land on, so 5 seconds. You want to get down to 0 and essentially not have possession of it. So let's just call it Tennis Hot Potato. Hot potato, pass it on, pass it on. Boom! Oh no, he got me. Thought for sure. Anyways, you guys kind of get the idea, and it's kind of a nice relief, to be honest with you. You're not taking your time, saying, oh, this game's so serious. It kind of has joke modes in there and fun modes and just casual fun that you can have. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to quit this out. I'm going to go back in. I'm going to try and show you now a serious match in the arcade, and let you guys see what the actual visual and gameplay is like there. Again, if you want to see any modes, let me know. World Tour, we've already kind of really touched upon. You build your character, you create your character, you customize your kits. And you play the mini games to try and evolve your character and try and become essentially the best tennis player in the world. So let's jump into an arcade match. Just to keep the game appealing visually, I will pick Sharapova and maybe another chick. It's always good to watch chicks play tennis. I'm not trying to have any sexist remarks or anything like that, so no offense to any of the ladies watching, but it's nice to watch beautiful females play tennis. So there we go. And you saw that they had specialties to them. One had a hard hitter. I forget what the other one had. But what will happen is, as you play the game and you'll build up your meter here at the top, you'll eventually, when it's full, you'll have the ability to perform like a special shot. The ever-so silence. You can hear the echo. And it's funny because in real tennis, that's really what it is. Couldn't keep up, could you? So you guys can see the visuals are really, really nice. I'm quite impressed for a launch title, guys. I have to say, this really stands out there. And in my opinion, it's probably one of the better looking games on the Vita. I'm not going to go out there and say the best looking game, although people could debate that. But I definitely will say one of the better looking games. And I'm very impressed with the amount of content found in this, the gameplay mechanics, how fluently it works, and how much fun it is. I found myself saying, one more match. And those are the kind of games that you really want to play at the end of the day, where you're like, oh, it's good, it's not amazing, but let me just play one more. So anyways, yeah, that's really what this is at the end of the day. I would say to you, for $39.99, if it's retailing at that, don't pick it up. If you can borrow it from a friend or rent it, definitely go for it. If you can catch it in a bargain bin, $25, $29, in my opinion, that's obviously worth a purchase. It's a good game, and it's simply for the fact, if you don't like tennis, but just to see some of the things and the ways that it utilizes the Vita and some of the mini games that it has in there, would be worth it for me. If you're completely against sports and you find tennis to be really boring, well, first of all, you're probably not watching this video in the first place. And second of all, you're probably not going to want to pick it up, and I completely understand that. I'm not going to go out there and say it's the best game or the best game of the year for the Vita. Obviously, there's other titles out there, Resistance, and if you're used to FPSs, I completely get why you would get it. But you've had a chance to see what the Virtual Tennis is kind of like. I'm going to go ahead and exit this out. Again, anything else you wanted to see from me, let me know. I will have more details to come to for you guys on the contest and whatnot. This has been a first-hand look at the PS Vita Virtual Tennis. Thank you so much, guys. Again, remember to like and subscribe. I'm going to sign this off the only way that I know how. And before I actually do that, I just want to say to you guys, I will try and follow up with my Gravity Rush gameplay or full review, but I have to again wait for it to come in the mail and then have time to actually play the game in full. I might not be having a video out for next week. I might be off, but I will keep you guys posted in my comment section, so make sure to check that out. Also, check out our website, themediapurchaseguide.com, and we'll have that in the description for you guys. We have a lot of information from E3 coverage to different video games topics to all that good stuff. Now, let me sign it off the only way that I know how. Daddy1424, all the Vita goodness that is, the trigger grip and Virtual Tennis. Like usual, guys, thank you so much for your support, your ongoing comments, likes, and subscriptions. Daddy1424, like usual, peace, love.